I'm Dachung Musa Bagos, representing Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency from the great good state of Plateau State. And I want to thank Mr. Speaker for asking me of my badge first, but I have to review all those that have spoken so that to get the badge from them before me, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise to move a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Postal Service Act Cap N127, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide for the payment of all monies received by the service into the Federation account in accordance with Section 162 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 and for related matters HB 200. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Please lead the debate. 1 minute. Thank you.
Of Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency from the peaceful state of Plateau, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, permit me to lead the debate on the general principle of the Nigerian Postal Service Act Amendment Bill. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time in this hallowed chamber on the 18th of July, 2019. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the bill seeks to amend the Nigerian Postal Service Act to ensure remittance to the Federation account by the Commission, bring the Nigerian Postal Service Act in conformity with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, and expand the scope of revenue of the Nigerian Postal Service. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended in Section 162 established the Federation account as follows. The Federation shall maintain a special account to be called the Federation account, into which shall be paid all revenues collected by the federal government of the Federation except proceeds from personal income tax. For purpose of clarity, Section 162, subsection 10, defines revenue as any income or return accruing to or derived by the government of the Federation from any source, which includes any receipt, however described, arising from the operation of any law, and any return, however described, arising from or in respect of any property held by the government of the Federation. See, any return by way of interest on loans and dividends in respect of shares or interests held by government of the Federation in company or statutory funds. On the other hand, Section 80, subsection 1 of the Constitution establishes another fund, as it provides that all revenues or other monies raised or received by the Federation, not being revenues or other monies payable under the Constitution or any act of the National Assembly into any other public fund of the Federation established for specific purpose, shall be paid into and from any consolidated revenue fund of the Federation. The two accounts mentioned above are distinct. The Federation account belongs to the entire Federation, while the federal government, albeit, keeps it in trust on behalf of the three tiers of government. The Consolidated Revenue Fund, on the other hand, is one of the accounts of the federal government which is exclusively managed by it. Similarly, by the provision of Section 80, subsection 1, revenues that go to Consolidated Revenue Fund are those that are outside the contemplation of the Constitution, against the clear provision of Section 162 of the Constitution, Section 17, subsection 3 of the Nigerian Postal Service Act Cap N127, 2004 provides that the Commission shall pay all monies accruing from the sale of spectrum under Part 1 of Chapter 8 into the Consolidated Revenue Fund. This shows that Section 52 of the Nigerian Postal Service Act 127/2004 is inconsistent with Section 162 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. And to the extent that inconsistency vowed by virtue of Section 1, subsection 3 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court has made remarkable pronouncements on this issue on a plethora of judicial authorities. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the above background necessitates that this bill is to bring Section 52 of the Nigerian Postal Service Act Cap 127/2004 in conformity with the express provision of Section 162 of the Constitution. My respected colleagues, the amendment sought on this straightforward piece of legislation is to bring in existing act in conformity with the Constitution. And I believe that honorable colleagues will look into this bill extensively to allow it move for second reading. I so move, Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues. The position of the law down as it is. And not only with the Postal Service, there are a lot of government agencies that generate IGR, and at the end of the day, they utilize the IGR in their various agencies without remittance to the Federation account. And this amendment seeks that at the end of the day, the Postal Service will remit all their IGR into the Federation account. And with amendment of Section 52 of the Postal Service Act, that remittance will be into the Federation account to be called the Federation account, into which shall be paid all revenues collected by the government of the Federation, except the proceeds from the personal income tax of the personnel of the armed forces of the Federation, the Nigerian Police Force, the Ministry of Department of Government charged with responsibility for foreign affairs, and the residents of the Federal Capital Territory. We are all aware that there is any piece of legislation that is bigger and better than the Constitution. And from what is saying in 162, from what it says, that the Federation Act into which all shall be paid all revenues collected. And what the Nigerian Postal Service is getting is revenues. And we have even discussed in this floor of the House that even stamp duty that is being collected by banks are not being remitted into the Federation account, which is supposed to even be part of the job of the Nigerian Postal Services. So a lot of revenues that are outside through the Nigerian Postal Service that is not being paid into the Federation account is being wasted without actual account. And again, with this amendment, it's going to give the Federation and a balance sheet that this is what is going into the Federation, because now we can't even say this is what is being generated. At the end of the day, we all know what happens during our budget defense, that they will just tell us that this is what has been collected and this is what has been spent. Even through the Fiscal Responsibility Act that we are talking about. The Fiscal Responsibility Act, some are saying 25%, when some are saying 30%, so we don't have a clear definition of what really most of these agencies are generating, and most of these agencies are putting back into the Federation account. We have examples. For instance, JAM, when JAM was remitting 5 million, and the new registrar, what was remitting became something different. So a lot of issues, we need to put the law straight so that it will guide all agencies on what to do, how to go about it according to it, because there is no pieces of legislation that is beyond and above the Constitution. And even us that make the law, no pieces of legislation that is beyond the Constitution and what Section 162 is saying.
Those in support of the bill, amendment bill, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. The matter is, clerk.
Honourable Speaker, honourable members, the bill for now to amend the Nigerian Postal Service Act, Chapter N127, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, provide for the payment of all monies received by the service into the Federation account in accordance with Section 162 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, and for related matters. Second reading.